Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Movesets video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about the new Pokemon Turtonator. So let's get started by taking a look at this Pokemon's typing, ability, and stats. So to start things off, Turtonator is a new Fire Dragon type Pokemon, just like Mega Charizard X, that has access to one ability in the form of Shell Armor, which gives this Pokemon the ability to never be critically hit by your opponent, which is a pretty awesome defensive ability to have. As for its stats though, it has base 60 HP, which is a little bit on the low side. However, its base 130 physical defense, which is absolutely phenomenal, and its 85 special defense, which is good as well, allow this Pokemon to take hits very easily from both the physical and special side, coupled with its unique typing that gives it some pretty awesome resistances, as well as not a ton of weaknesses. On the offensive side of things though, it has a base 78 physical attack and a 91 special attack, which are about average attacking stats, so this Pokemon isn't going to be terribly powerful on its own. However, being a turtle, it has access to Shell Smash, effectively allowing this Pokemon to become an amazing sweeper. Lastly, it has a base 36 speed, which is a little bit on the slow side, as most of these turtle-like Pokemon tend to be. However, as mentioned previously, the access to Shell Smash allows it to kind of negate this really low speed stat, as when you use that move, it will be boosting your physical attack, your special attack, and your speed by 2 stages, effectively turning this Pokemon into a very potent sweeper. But with that, let's take a look at the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to begin by giving Turtonator either a bold nature to increase its physical defense but lower its physical attack, or a calm nature to increase its special defense but lower its physical attack, and then go with an EV spread of 248 EVs into its HP, 252 EVs into its physical defense or its special defense, to either make it insanely physically bulky or able to take hits very well from both physical and special attacks, and then go ahead and put the remainder 8 EVs into the opposite defense stat just to make it a little bit more bulky in that department. And since this is a more defensive set, we're going to be making use of leftovers as its item to allow Turtonator to recover a little bit of HP at the end of every turn. As for the moves, the first one that we're going to go with on this moveset is going to be Will-O-Wisp, to give this Pokemon a way to burn opponents, hopefully physical attackers, thus making it so that they do even less damage with their physical attacks, and slowly wearing down their HP at the end of every turn. Next, we're going to make use of Flamethrower and Dragon Pulse to give this Pokemon 2 powerful special stab moves to make use of, both of which, when used in combination with each other, allow this Pokemon to pretty much hit everything in the game for neutral coverage, as there are not a lot of things that resist both fire and dragon type moves. Finally, for the last move slot, we have quite a few options here. The first being Shell Trap as a way to make this Pokemon make use of its awesome signature move, which is a 150 base power special fire type attack that basically goes off when your opponent attacks you with a physical move on the turn you went for Shell Trap. Additionally, we can also run Dragon Tail as an option in this fourth move slot to give this Pokemon a way to shuffle around its opponents and also possibly cause them to take entry hazard damage as a result of hazards you set up on your opponent's side of the field, or put a stop to a setup sweeper that might have acquired a couple of boosts. Furthermore, we could run Fire Spin in this slot as well to allow this Pokemon a way to trap opponents and also cause them to take a little bit of damage at the end of every turn that they are trapped for, which can be very useful if you are using this Turtonator in what could be maybe a favorable matchup against your opponent. Or lastly, running Rest to allow this Pokemon to recover all of its health and also get rid of any negative statuses that it might have received, hopefully being used possibly in combination with another teammate that has access to Heal Bell or Aromatherapy to get rid of her sleep status. As for this next moveset, we're also going to be running Turtonator as a defensive Pokemon, but this time trying to increase its longevity on the battlefield and make it even more difficult to take down. So we're going to start this one off again by giving it a bold or calm nature and using the same EV spread option as before, either making it more physically defensive or specially defensive, and then running leftovers as its item, along with also including a Rocky Helmet as a potential item for this set to damage any Pokemon attacking it with a contact move. As for the moves that you're going to be running though, again we're going to include Flamethrower to be your main stab fire type attack, and then either running Dragon Pulse or Dragon Tail to give this Pokemon a dragon type coverage option, Dragon Pulse obviously being the stronger special attack, whereas Dragon Tail is a little bit weaker and a physical move, but will be shuffling your opponents around on the battlefield, potentially, as mentioned before, racking up some entry hazard damage as a result of hazards you might have set up on your opponent's side of the field. But the last thing to mention about this set is we're going to be running the Rest Talk combination to allow Turtonator to heal up its HP and continue to be a threatening attacker even while asleep as a result of Sleep Talk. Additionally, we could also run a boosting defensive set for this Pokemon to make use of the Rest Talk combination. And since this is going to be making use of physical attacks primarily, our nature options are going to be either an Impish nature to increase your physical defense but lower your special attack, or a Careful nature to increase your special defense but lower your special attack. Again, the EV options are going to be the same, either making it more physically bulky or specially bulky, and then running either Leftovers or Rocky Helmet. However, the moves this time are going to really change the functionality of the previous moveset to allow this Pokemon to do a couple of extra things that it normally wouldn't be able to. Namely, boost its speed through the use of the first move on the set, which is Flame Charge. Now, Turtonator is a very slow Pokemon to begin with, but Flame Charge will be boosting your speed by 1 stage every time you damage your opponent with it, which can work extremely well when used in combination with Rest and Sleep Talk, because when you do have Rest and Sleep Talk used together and you manage to Sleep Talk a Dragon Tail, you actually are going to be ignoring the negative priority that Dragon Tail normally has. So if you're able to acquire a bunch of speed boosts, you essentially will be very fast and able to shuffle things around while asleep before your opponent's even able to damage Turtonator or its teammates. Furthermore, for this first move slot, we could also run Bulk Up to give this Pokemon a way to boost its physical attack and its physical defense by 1 stage. And this can also be used to great extent while making use of Dragon Tail and Rest and Sleep Talk on kind of a mono attacking set, because you'll be simultaneously making this Pokemon incredibly bulky and also shuffling things around the battlefield. However, do keep in mind that Fairy-type Pokemon will be immune to that variant of the set, but if you're able to deal with them with another member of your team, then you shouldn't have too much of a problem making use of this. Now moving on to the more offensive sets of the video, we're going to begin this one by giving it a Modest nature to increase its special attack but lower its physical attack, and then use an EV spread of 248 HP EVs, 252 special attack EVs, and 8 speed EVs to give this Pokemon its maximum special attack possible. As for the item, on this set, we're either going to go with Choice Specs to boost your special attack power, a Life Orb to also boost the damage of all of your attacks, but be able to use them freely at the cost of losing 10% of your health every time you damage your opponent, an Expert Belt to allow this Pokemon to increase the damage of super effective moves, an Assault Vest to give this Pokemon increased special bulk, Leftovers to allow it to recover a little bit of HP at the end of a return, or also potentially going with Grassy MZ to give this Pokemon a super powerful Grass-type move for coverage to make use of. But for the moves on the set, the main one that we're going to go with is either going to be Overheat or Fire Blast to be our main stab fire-type move, and then for the Dragon side of things, either going with Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse to be your main stab Dragon-type move. Obviously, Overheat and Draco Meteor are the more powerful options, but they do have that negative side effect of lowering your special attack by 2 stages, whereas Fire Blast and Dragon Pulse do not do that, even though they are still strong moves in themselves. Additionally, we're then going to run Flash Cannon on this set to help this Pokemon deal a little bit better with Rock-type Pokemon as well as other fairies that it might be matched up against as a result of this move being super effective versus both of those types of Pokemon. Finally, for the last move on the set, we could either run Hidden Power Grass or Solar Beam as a way to give this Pokemon a powerful Grass-type attack to use that gives it some really great coverage along with the other attacks on the set. Now the cool thing about using Solar Beam with Grassy MZ is that you get all the benefits of Solar Beam, essentially giving you a super powerful Grass-type move, but you don't actually have to charge it like you normally would with Solar Beam. However, if you don't want to go with the Grassy MZ item, Hidden Power Grass gives you the Grass-type coverage that you're looking for, and then Hidden Power Ground also gives you additional coverage as well, giving this Pokemon a reliable way to deal with opposing Pokemon that may be immune to Fire Blast and resist Dragon Pulse, such as Heatran. Moving on to the Shell Smash portion of this moveset video, we're going to begin this set by giving it a Timid nature to boost its speed but lower its physical attack, or a Hasty nature to boost its speed but lower its physical defense, and then going with a specially offensive EV spread of 252 special attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs. As for the item, we're either going to run a Life Orb to allow this Pokemon to increase the power of all of its attacks at the cost of losing 10% of its health every time it damages its opponent, an Expert Belt to boost the damage of super effective moves, a White Herb or Normalium Z to be used in combination with Shell Smash to basically get rid of the negative stat drops that those provide to your physical defense and special defense, White Herb doing it the first time you Shell Smash, whereas if you want to actually try to Shell Smash twice with this Pokemon, because it is fairly slow and it would appreciate the extra speed. Using Normalium Z in combination with Shell Smash will actually remove the stat reductions the second time you go for a Shell Smash, effectively making you at -1 physical defense and -1 special defense. The difference between using this, though, is that Normalium Z can't be knocked off, whereas a White Herb can, so it makes it a little bit of a safer option if you do want to go for 2 Shell Smashes. Additionally, though, we could run Grassium Z, Furium Z, or Dragonium Z to give this Pokemon a super powerful Grass, Fire, or Dragon-type move to make use of. For the moves on the set, though, as mentioned before, Shell Smash will be our main way of boosting our stats, as it will be boosting our physical attack, our special attack, and our speed by 2 stages, while also simultaneously lowering our physical defense and special defense. Then, with our boosted stats, we're either going to make use of Fire Blast or Flamethrower to be your main stab Fire-type move, and then make use of Dragon Pulse to be your main stab Dragon-type special attack. As for the last move on the set, we have a few options whether we want either Grass coverage or Ground-type coverage. Grass coverage being provided by Hidden Power Grass, or if you go with Grassium Z, using that in combination with Solar Beam to give you a super powerful Bloom Doom to make use of, or on the other hand, going with Hidden Power Ground to give you a special Ground-type move to make use of, or Earthquake to give you a physical Ground-type move to make use of, which even on a more special attacking set is still really powerful because we're still boosting our physical attack by 2 stages as a result of Shell Smash. On the other hand, we could also run a physical Shell Smash set for Turtonator to make use of. So we're going to start this one off by giving it either a Jelly Nature to boost its speed but lower its special attack, or a Hasty Nature to boost its speed but lower its physical defense, and then running a physically offensive EV spread of 252 physical attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs. The items on the set stay exactly the same as the previous one. The only real thing that changes, though, are your attacking moves that you use in combination with Shell Smash, the first being Dragon Claw to be your main stab Dragon-type physical attack. Then, for this set, we're going to run Earthquake to give you fantastic Ground-type coverage that works really well in combination with your Dragon-type stab, and for the last move slot, either running Stone Edge to give you some really great Rock-type coverage to use to hit even more things super effectively or for neutral damage, Flame Charge to give you a powerful Fire-type move to make use of that will also boost your speed an additional stage, thus making Turtonator even more difficult for your opponent's team to deal with, Fire Blast to give you a special Fire-type coverage option, which is still even going to be powerful on this set, even though we're running it as a physically offensive Pokemon because you're still getting your special attack boost by 2 stages, Solar Beam, again for the same reasons as the previous set, to use in combination with Grassium Z, or Explosion as a last-ditch effort to allow this Pokemon to do insane amounts of damage before it goes down on the battlefield. But anyways, everybody, that is it for this video on Turtonator, so thank you for watching, and as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.